The smoke from Navarro's exploded car drifted into the sky in a thick black plume, visible for miles. It was a kind of explosion that guaranteed one thing. Mulder and Haskins knew exactly where they were, and they wanted them to know it. Navarro checked the perimeter again, her weapon drawn, her stance rigid and alert. Jalen had never seen anyone look so focused and furious at the same time. His mother trembled beside him, gripping his hand like she feared he might vanish too. Navarro turned to them, her voice low, urgent. "We can't stay here. They're closing in." Jalen swallowed hard. "But what about Marcus? We can't just leave." "We're not," Navarro said. "But if Mulder rigged my car, he's planning something bigger. Maybe an ambush. Maybe worse." She lifted her eyes toward the hills beyond the storage units, the area where the security cameras didn't reach, where you could hide more than a body. You could hide a crime. Or several. "We're close," she whispered. "Too close. That's why they're panicking." They fled on foot, following a narrow path behind the storage facility and into a wooded slope rarely used except by maintenance crews. Branches cracked beneath their shoes. The forest was dense, the shadows long. It smelled of damp leaves and the cold edge of morning. Navarro moved fast but silent, a natural predator on alert. Jalen tried to keep up, adrenaline pushing him forward even as fear gnawed at his chest. After 10 minutes, Navarro stopped abruptly. "This is where the camera caught Unit 6 turning off the road," she said. "There are no residences here. No businesses. Nothing except." She bent down, brushing leaves aside. Jalen's stomach clenched. "Tire tracks. Fresh ones. Leading uphill." His mother whispered, "Oh God." Navarro motioned them to stay quiet as she followed the tracks deeper into the forest. The trees opened into a small clearing, and at its center stood something Jalen didn't expect. A run-down vacant cabin, weathered, boarded windows, a sagging roofline. But Unit 6 was parked behind it, and Mulder's voice echoed faintly from inside. "Get the tape. We're finishing this today." Jalen felt his heart stop. Marcus was inside. Navarro put a finger to her lips. "Stay behind me," she mouthed. Jalen and his mother crouched behind a fallen log as Navarro crept toward the cabin, using the trees as cover. Through a crack in the wood near a boarded window, Jalen could see just enough. Marcus, bound to a metal support beam, barely conscious. Mulder pacing in front of him, face twisted with a satisfaction that made Jalen's blood turn ice cold. Haskins leaned against a wall, arms crossed, watching with a dead-eyed calm that was almost worse. Mulder spoke first. "You should have kept your mouth shut, kid. Now you're going to help us make an example." Marcus tried to speak, but only a ragged whisper escaped. Navarro inhaled sharply. Jalen wanted to run in, to scream, to break the door down, but Navarro's restraint radiated like a wall. She pointed to her holster. One gun, 2 corrupt cops, a hostage, and no backup. Jalen's mother whispered, "We can't just watch." "We won't," Navarro said. "But we do this smart or none of you make it out alive." She scanned the clearing. "Jalen," she whispered, "I need you." His breath caught. "Me." Navarro nodded. "You're small, quiet, and fast. There's a back window that's half boarded. You can squeeze through, get behind Marcus, and cut the zip ties while I draw them forward." Jalen froze. Fear flooded every inch of him. His mother grabbed his shoulders. "No, absolutely not." "Mama," he whispered, "Marcus needs me." "We'll find another way," she insisted. "There's no other way," Navarro said softly. "Not with the time we have." Inside the cabin, Mulder grabbed a roll of duct tape and approached Marcus with a sneer. Time was up. Jalen met Navarro's eyes. "Tell me what to do." Jalen circled the cabin on shaking legs, moving slowly through the brush until he found it, the back window partially boarded, exactly where Navarro said. There was enough space for a small body to slip through. He breathed once, twice, then pushed through, landing silently on the wooden floor inside. The smell hit him instantly, sweat, mildew, and blood. Marcus was only 10 feet away, slumped against the metal beam, wrists bound so tight the plastic ties cut into his skin. His eyes fluttered open. "Jalen," he croaked. Jalen pressed a finger to his lips. "I'm here. Just stay quiet." He pulled the small pocket knife Navarro had given him and began sawing at the ties. Outside, Navarro moved into position. Inside, Mulder was still monologuing, pacing, ranting, drunk on power. "You see, kid? No one is coming for you. No one ever does." He was wrong. The first tie snapped. Marcus winced, but stayed quiet. The second tie, almost through. Then a floorboard creaked beneath Jalen's knee. Mulder's head snapped toward the sound. For one horrifying second, their eyes met. "You!" Mulder roared, lunging forward. Jalen dropped the knife. Everything exploded at once. Navarro crashed through the front door like a storm, weapon raised. "Hands up. Now." Mulder dove for Marcus, yanking him up as a human shield. Haskins drew his gun at the same time Navarro fired a warning shot into the ceiling. "Let the boy go," she shouted. Mulder laughed, a sick, wild laugh. "Detective Navarro, always so righteous. Too bad you're outnumbered." "You're not the one counting," Navarro replied. He frowned. "What?" Thunk. A blow from behind Jalen. Marcus, freed from the ties, collapsed sideways as Jalen slammed into Mulder's back with everything he had. Mulder stumbled, dropping Marcus. "Get off me," Mulder bellowed, swinging wildly. Navarro fired again, this time hitting Mulder in the shoulder. His scream tore through the cabin. Haskins raised his gun. Before he could fire, Marcus, weak but desperate, threw himself at Haskins's legs. Both crashed to the floor. The gun skidded across the room. Navarro kicked it away. Mulder, bleeding and enraged, lunged at Jalen. Navarro fired. Click. Empty. Mulder's hands reached for Jalen's throat. Jalen's mother burst through the back window with a scream that shook the walls. "Don't touch my son." She swung a heavy wooden beam, something she must have grabbed from outside, striking Mulder across the face with a bone-cracking thud. He collapsed. Haskins reached for a knife on his belt, but Navarro tackled him, pinning him down until he stopped moving. Silence. A long, trembling silence. Then Marcus began to sob. Jalen's mother pulled both boys into her arms, crying so hard she could barely breathe. Navarro stood over the unconscious officers, chest rising and falling in ragged breaths. "It's over," she whispered. But Jalen had a feeling she was wrong. This wasn't the end. Not yet. This was the beginning of the reckoning.